area around your house may be dangerously radioactive from fallout.
In areas of C and D damage, especially upwind of ground zero, a short time may elapse before fallout arrives. It should be appreciated that part of C is likely to be within the fire belt caused by the heat effect. So, in the brief time lapse before fallout arrives, it may be possible to tackle such vital tasks as local firefighting before having to resume shelter. Damage by fire and blast may render some buildings unfit for protection from fallout. In such cases, householders will have to lead their families to alternative shelter. It may be to another building, indicated by the warden, which is less severely damaged, or to their own slit trench in the garden. The warden, during this period, must realize that fallout is no respecter of uniforms. He should take cover as soon as the dose rate approaches the 3 Roentgen per hour mark. Although the National Warning Organization will make every attempt to give the black warning, this may not always be possible. No matter what happens, the responsibility will always be with the man on the spot with the meter. He will give a local warning by whatever means are available. It may be sounded by whistle, by maroons, or by some other means. We must now consider how the life-saving teams can carry out their tasks without receiving too high a dose of radioactivity from fallout. The Civil Defense Controller will direct effort to the upwind arc of the stricken city so that they can start their vital work at a comparatively low dose rate. You'll remember that 25 Roentgen was the dose which could be received in one go without ill effects. We were also told that if the dose was spread over a longer period, then a higher figure was permissible. In fact, working in shifts spread over a period of 3 days, the acceptable dose might go up to 60 Roentgen. These figures give us a yardstick upon which to work, so that civil defense personnel do not exceed the permissible dose, which must still, however, be checked on their Radiac instruments. If they operate on a shift system of 8 4-hour shifts spread over 3 days, their total permissible dose could be 60 Roentgen. That's an average of about 2 Roentgen per hour. In fact, allowing for decay during each shift, they could start work where the dose rate was not more than 3 Roentgen per hour, as long as they keep on checking their total dose received. Headquarters will be kept informed of any increase in radioactivity as reconnaissance teams go forward into the damaged area. These reports of radiation intensity will be plotted on the control room map and will supplement the information supplied by the National Monitoring Organization based on the Royal Observer Corps posts. A line drawn through points having a reading of 3 Roentgen per hour therefore gives a simple guide to the limit up to which operations can be commenced without delay or undue risk. This contour is known as the green line. The pattern of fallout for some 20 miles or so around ground zero is likely to be very variable. The contours of radioactivity will be irregular, and the green line could initially be anything from, say, 5 to 20 miles upwind of ground zero. We'll now take a case where the green line has been established at, say, 10 miles from ground zero at H+1, 1 hour after the burst. As radiation decays with time, so this line will contract towards ground zero. At H+4, it might have shrunk to within 8 miles of ground zero. At H+8, to within 6 miles. At H+24, to within 4 miles. And at H+48, on the upwind side, it may have contracted to the edge of total destruction by blast. When teams have used up their dose of 25 Roentgen, or its equivalent, spread out over a longer period, arrangements may have to be made for their relief and withdrawal to uncontaminated areas. There may, however, be circumstances where it would be intolerable to restrict vital operations to areas where the dose rate was not more than 3 Roentgen per hour. This would apply particularly to work in areas threatened by fire. In these circumstances, the controller may decide that it will be necessary for the personnel involved to risk getting their 25 Roentgen in one shift of, say, 4 hours. This would mean an average dose rate of about 6 Röntgen per hour. But again, allowing for decay during the 4-hour shift, it would be possible to start at a dose rate of 10 Röntgen per hour. The total dose must still, however, be checked on dosimeters. For this, a red line will be used. With a 10 megaton bomb burst at or near ground level, this red line is always likely to be a mile or two inside the green line at any time after the burst, and thus at H plus 48 would probably extend 2 miles upwind of ground zero. We now know something of the conditions that are likely to exist in the damaged area. The rescue teams entering the damaged area from the upwind and crosswind sides should be able to operate freely in shifts to within something like 10 miles of ground zero, working to the green line. Those in the more heavily damaged areas will be reached perhaps some days later, as the contracting green and red lines allow the rescue parties to probe further and further inwards. Special task force teams may be directed to areas that need urgent attention beyond the green line and up to the red line. No matter how much trained rescue aid is available, emphasis must still be laid on self-help. So the important tasks of life-saving, rescue work, firefighting, and care of the injured and homeless will go on. Progressively, a picture will be built up of the area of damage and the severity of fallout. The problem will be sized up, plans made, and put into operation. Some will not make this journey out of the damaged area. The number who do may well depend on the example you set, showing them the way to prepare and protect themselves from fallout.